Terrence Howard, the legendary Hollywood actor, was on the PDB podcast yesterday, and he talked about the Diddy meetings and Hollywood's dark secrets. These ones I love to make, reactions about, because these are super deep ones that a lot of, people in Europe, we don't really understand or get. But I've been hearing about this stuff since I was, little, guys. Ever since I wanted to become acting or be on TV or do something like that, I said, oh, it'd be cool to go to Hollywood. Well, truth be told, guys, it's probably the best thing ever that, you stay far, far away from that stuff and just do your own YouTube or do your own production of some sort. So let me know your thoughts, guys. He's saying Puffy here, P Diddy tried to sleep with him, all this crazy type of stuff. So I believe it. Let's hear exactly what he says.
Short life in
why do you think that is? What the creative side is?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what Heath had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head.
It's true. That's why I always say, a lot of these, rich Hollywood actors, and let's be honest, guys, the people in Ireland too, people all over Europe that sell out for the money or for their country or whatever, they have to be doing drugs and drinking and stuff like that because they've been abused, they've been sexually abused as kids, they've been abused as adults, or they're in a bad relationship, toxic relationship, this kind of stuff. Okay, so they have to do drugs, drink excessively, do crazy stuff to, heal the pain basically that they're feeling all the time.
But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it.
Ooh.
So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying.
You know what he's saying, guys. He's saying that they abused him sexually in Hollywood, and that's, that's not how it's supposed to be, guys. I 100%, I've been hearing about this for 20 years, guys, plus 25 years.
Don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time.
Oh, yeah.
You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it.
100% agree. I love this, guys. Terrence Howard is a genius, guys. I really truly think he's a genius. So he talks about these giving up your manhood cards, giving up you're selling your soul to the business. You see these other Instagrammers recently. We had people trying to curtail the free speech in Ireland. I mean, this is horrific stuff, guys. This is not, you're not supposed to be curtailing free speech. You're not supposed to be selling out to these corporations because you give it up as a man, guys. That's pretty much it, guys. Your word is gone. You're not honorable. It's a disgrace.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Yep.
So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head.
And a lot of people know that P. Diddy probably abused Justin Bieber. We don't know for certain, guys. It's all kind of hearsay, speculation, but the way they were treated and groomed, it's pretty likely that happened,
The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card.
Damn.
You need therapy.
Yep.
And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything.
Yes. I love that. Wow, I'm replaying that. That's one of the greatest ways I've ever heard in my life. So he said the women are selling their bodies and selling their souls for these roles, but they get these achievements. You guys see all the celebrities with the nice cars and all this stuff. What is that, guys? There is a price to pay for that. You know what I mean? I'm just an independent YouTuber. I don't actually, I've never experienced any of this stuff, guys. I just know deep down, I'm like, there is something wrong with these celebrities, these massively pushed celebrities. They make The Rock dress up in a dress. A lot of people say, "Oh, what's wrong with that?" But if you don't want to do something like that, guys, that's leaving your manhood behind. They make every masculine white and black man dress up in Hollywood in a dress for a reason, guys. It's like an embarrassment ritual, and they think, "Oh, well, I'll get the role in the future." No, it doesn't matter, because your soul is gone. Powerful stuff. When you sell out, guys, and I mean truly sell out, like trying to get rid of freedom of speech in Ireland or something like that, that's truly selling out. That is when your soul is just gone, bro.
Business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. Oh. That's what my assistant said.
Yeah,
I was like,
and we laugh as guys, but like that's literally it, guys. These higher power people, and it's in Ireland too, guys. The elites in Ireland, let's say the people that own these agencies, the people that own these different agencies, in Dublin or in the big powerful centers and stuff, they are giving people money. They're giving these influencers money. Like I said, the protein board guy, they're giving these people money, and they're making them sell their soul. They're pushing their thing on the people, and they're just looking. And to go to P. Diddy's house, Puffy had that death stare, guys. The eyes never lie. In Scarface, he says, the eyes, Chico, they never lie. They never lie, guys. The eyes, okay? When you're looking at someone and what's happened right there, something not right has happened. This is amazing. Terrence Howard is a genius.
Like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
Yep.
Now to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman.
Yep.
When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Yep.
And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit. Because
facts, and you shouldn't. Hell no, bro. Hell no, wearing pink t-shirts and all this stuff, man. Hell no, bro.
The man card means everything.
Yep.
I had no idea we're going to go this direction with the podcast. This is absolute. But listen, we've talked about it. We've had a lot of the guys on to talk about this stuff. Are you done with Hollywood because of this specific reason?
I'm still working. I still, I haven't made the money necessary to do all of the other stuff. So I still have to go and do the Chitlin circuit. I still have to do the job that I need to. But eventually, I've done what I set out to do, which was to redefine the universe. I've proven what I've set out to do, and that's why I have all the patents. Whether they evaluate it or not, that's up to them. But I've done the work and finished it. Now I can go on and do whatever else we need to do. Hi, everyone.
Amazing, guys. I love it. Terrence Howard is a genius, guys. He's spitting facts right there. They take your manhood, they take your womanhood. When you sell your soul like that, you see, a lot of these OnlyFans models now, they're paying them $600,000 a week. She said, "I'm getting paid $600,000 a week." Doesn't matter, guys. I've said this before. All those stars, all those OnlyFans actors, they all regret it, guys, and they all end up hurting themselves. I'll be perfectly honest with you. If you're a woman out there and you think, "Oh, it's good to do this OnlyFans and do this," no, dude. The average person on that makes only €200 a week. I make, 10 times that, 5 times that. Not per week, but per month. And these people will sell their soul for it, guys. These people will sell their soul, and it's not a good path to go down, guys. Because once that sells, you really don't feel anything after that. It's like that Simpsons episode where the devil, sells Bart's soul for nothing, and then they kind of dangle this rich and fame over you, and then they say, "Oh, you'll be famous if you do this," and in reality, it's not how it is, guys. Because you can't live with yourself then once you do something that's against your morals, because the demons will eat at you inside, okay? The bad karma is coming, guys. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to hit the join link down below, become a member of the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.